Hi, did you know you could have a whole lot of fun drilling? Well, let's start off with the simplest of actions of drilling a hole. And this is a very traditional tool I've got here called an auger bit. And it's going to teach us a little bit of knowing about what's happening when we're drilling. So what you'll need first of all, if you're drilling in wood, is some way of fixing the center in place so it doesn't wobble around. In this case, we've got like a little screw thread. We also need a cutting edge, and here is the cutting edge. There's normally two, one here and one on the other side, which we call a spur. So normally two spurs on the drill. The spurs cut the circumference around the outer edge of the hole. So we also need something which will cut out the middle of the hole and remove the wood. And we call this the cutting edge. And that would just be here. And then we've got the twist in the drill, or the flutes, which will remove the wood out of place, and clear it out. Now this part here we call the shaft, and that has to be strong. It's going to take a lot of that torque turning force. And then I can tell this is an old drill, like a traditional drill, because it has a tang at the top, which is it's like a sort of square pyramid. And that tells me in particular that I need to have a special drill to go with this, which is going to help me use it. And this is what we'd use. We'd call this a brace. And the auger bit would fit here in the chuck. And then your hand could go on here, press really hard down, you needed a lot of force down on this to be able to cut. And then your other hand would be here, and you would turn the handle round like a crank, and this would magnify your force. And you can see here in action the brace and bit. There we go, right, drilling that hole. Now, and brace and bit were really for larger holes. If you had a smaller hole, you might want to use this one, which is just called a hand drill. Here we've got the chuck down at the bottom, and we've got the handle for turning, and we've got some bevel gears here, which would then make your chuck rotate this way. And the drills for this one will just have a straight shank here with no tang. So using both of these drills would take a real lot of effort. But now, of course, we've got the modern day pillar drill or bench drill, which will help us do our work. Now, for smaller holes, we have these wood bits, which have got a straight shank, and they will fit into the pillar drill. Let's take a closer look at the end of the drill here, because it's got the same features that we find in the old auger bit. So we've got the center point to ensure that the drill stays on course. We've got the spurs on either side, there's the other one there and there, which will cut the circumference. And we've got the twist, which will remove the wood out. And along here, we've got the cutting edge. Cutting edge, there we go. So wherever you see a drill with a sharp point in the center like this, you can probably guess that it is for wood only. So don't start drilling metal with it. You're really going to blunt these drills very quickly. Now, these are the drills that you're going to need for drilling metal. And we call these twist bits. But of course, they can cut wood as well, because if they can cut metal, they're going to be able to easily cut wood. And if we check the end out here, you can see that it's just got a simple V point. Now, wood bit sizes will probably start off around about 3 millimeters in diameter. We can go up to 12 millimeters quite easily. And they always go up in 1 millimeter sizes, so 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Well, your twist bits can start off really small, 1 millimeter, and go up to 12 millimeters as standard ones. But they will also have half sizes. So if that was a 4, then the next one up would be 4.5, then 5, and then 5.5, 6, 6.5, you get it, don't you? And the reason for that is that drilling in metal can be very accurate indeed. Where drilling in wood, because it's like a natural timber, a natural living material, you can't get that sort of accuracy because moisture will increase and decrease the size, etc. And you've got the fibres of the wood as well to cut. In the chuck of a pillar drill, maximum size that you're going to fit in, shaft size of the drill, is going to be around about 13 millimeters. So what happens when we want a hole bigger than this? Well, we're going to need a different type of drill, and this one we call a flat bit. You can probably guess why, because of this flat bit. Here's the size of it, 25 millimeter one. And again, you can see the different aspects, again, the spur, the center, the cutting edge, and the straight shaft. And we also have a similar drill bit, which is called a Forstner bit. Okay, funny spelling, check that out, Forstner. Now, of course, these drills will go right the way through a piece of wood, but if you stop, then you will get a flat-bottomed hole, which again can be very useful depending on what you're designing and making. And typically, I've seen these go up to, like 50 millimeters in diameter, which is quite large. And if you want to go even higher than that, then you're going to need this, which is called a hole saw. Now, the smallest one I've seen of these is around about 50 millimeters, which is still, it's quite small. But I've seen them up to 110 millimeters in diameter. Now, you're not going to get these in every size. So you've got to sort of build into your designing beforehand and check out what diameters are available. In a hole saw kit, you're going to get one of these center pieces called a mandrel. And then you'll get a set of the saws, all of different sizes. So you screw on the hole saw depending on which size you need. And this time we've got a set of teeth, like imagine we've got a saw and we've bent it round into a circle. We've got all these teeth, but we've still got that center drill here to keep it steady. Now, the idea with a hole saw is to drill all the way through, because if you notice, there's no cutting edge here. This will just leave the wood intact. So the hole saw is going to give you two things. One, it's either going to give you a hole in a piece of wood, or it's actually going to give you the centerpiece, which, is like a wheel, isn't it? That's probably a good way to make a wheel for a child's toy. Now, when we drill with a hole saw, we're going to go down around about 3/4 of the way through like this, until you notice that the center drill is now pierced and come out the other side of the wood. Then we can pull the hole saw back out, turn the wood over and locate the hole from the other side, and then just drill in the last few millimeters to break the circle off. This way it will stop your wood from splitting out, which is normal when you're drilling on wood. So when you're using any of these drills, make sure you've got a bit of backing material sort of underneath to make sure that the wood doesn't splinter through. Let's just write that on there. Backing material for, a piece of MDF or something cheap like that will stop it from splitting. And then I'd like to finish off with the little drill like this. Funny little thing, isn't it? Which is the countersink bit. And this is designed to give you a tapered hole so that the head of a countersink screw can fit flush with the surface of the material that you are using. And I cover this more in my wood joints videos. Right, we can stop there. Now you know the whole story, and I'll see you next time.